The senator from Arizona.
Mr. President, I deployed to Washington to be a pragmatic problem solver. And for the past 5.5 years, I've made it my mission in Congress to better the lives of hardworking Arizonans. In a time of toxic partisanship, this is no easy feat. It requires reaching across the aisle to find where the Venn diagram overlaps. Well, today, I'm calling on my Senate colleagues to be pragmatic, to meet in the middle on what we should agree on. I'm asking senators to simply extend expanded unemployment benefits for 7 days while Congress comes up with a solution. Who could be against that? With the 1st of August approaching, Americans out of work are counting on us for cash so they can pay their rent and put food on the table for their families. And while some states will get the expanded checks we understand for the next week or two, Arizonans have gotten their last expanded check. These are Arizonans who are in my neighborhood, live on my street, who worked paycheck to paycheck before this once-in-a-century pandemic hit. Well, I'm here to tell them Washington, D.C.'s dysfunction and bickering is alive and well. Congress, once again, is using hardworking Americans as pawns in their political games. For the many Arizonans out of work right now, Mr. President, this is not a game. Americans, Arizonans, are calling out for help, and it's time we deliver it. So what I'm offering today is a simple 7-day extension of the extra $600 a week for unemployed Americans while we work through our differences on how to move forward and see Americans through this first-in-a-century crisis. This is a reasonable proposal. Who could possibly be against this? I understand as we work to defeat this virus, which we will, and support the economic recovery for our country, we need to incentivize people to return to work safely when they are able. And there are disagreements in this chamber on what that looks like, what the ultimate dollar figure or percentage will be, where we land, and for how long. But I know today is Congress needs to do their job and to prevent this desperately needed extra lifeline from fully expiring. In this uncertain time, everyone is doing the best they can to make ends meet, to help each other, to help our neighbors, to stay safe. Everyone, that is, except Congress. Americans who have lost their livelihoods out of no fault of their own due to this cruel virus should not be collateral damage of political maneuvering. I'm calling on the Senate. Let's do what we were sent here to do. Let's do our job. In the face of the virus, we've asked millions of Americans to go back to work when they can safely, to make hard decisions, to do what they were hired to do. It's time for the Senate to do the same. This is a reasonable request. It is simply a 7-day extension of the expanded unemployment benefits while we continue to work out our differences. Who could possibly be against this? Therefore, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of my bill at the desk. I further ask that the bill be read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered and laid upon the table.
Is there objection?
Reserving the right to object.
The Democrat leader.
Now, Mr. President, this UC request is clearly a stunt. A one-week fix can't be implemented in time, and the senator knows that. Plus, there are many other problems Arizonans have, in addition to this one. Arizona parents are worried that schools won't open safely. Arizona renters are worried they'll be evicted from their apartments. Arizona parents are worried that they can't feed their kids. Arizona businesses, small businesses, are worried that they won't have the necessary help. All of those things are in the HEROES Act, plus not a one-week extension, which can't even be implemented, but an extension till January 31st. So I would ask my colleagues to tell Arizonans whether she supports the HEROES Act or not, which goes much further and is much stronger on unemployment and many other issues. I object.
Objection is heard.
Mr. President, this is
Senator from
disappointing. Thank you, Mr. President, and a political stunt in a game. And for all the normal people watching out there who don't understand why Washington is so dysfunctional, we're just looking for a 7-day extension so they can get another check and pay their rent. And I asked the question, who could possibly be against this? Well, we found out. It's the senator from New York. So you can clip the tape or put his picture on your refrigerator when you open it up, because it's the minority leader who is against this on his path to try and become the majority leader, and that's unfortunate. Arizonans deserve better. Thank you, Mr. President.